What's up, guys? Chris back from CTJ, the Sane Elites, bringing you guys another deck profile. And today we're going to be going over a new version of Vegeks. This is following the Potara Unison route with the Vegeks cards. I think this deck runs pretty well. There are maybe one card that's an inconsistency that I don't have that I think could help the deck out a lot. We'll talk about that once we get there. But make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. And we'll start here with the deck profile. So this leader here, burst 5 every time you activate main, and then you draw a card, which is the big part of the deck because you want to get to 20 cards as quick as possible, because that is one of your Awaken requirements. When you get to 20 cards, you can restand one, draw one, or if you're at 4 life, you can also do the same thing as well. On the Awaken side, kind of a backwards version of the first activate main, but this one you draw first, burst 5, and then you give one of your black Unisons double strike for the turn. This is pretty effective, and the bursting effect is the main way that this deck is played around. If you guys haven't already seen, that's where you play a lot of your battle cards from. So the stuff that everyone should be playing when you play this deck is all of the structure deck time agents and the Supreme Kai. This one comes out for free when you mill it, and then if you have 5 or less cards in your hand when you combo with this, it gains an extra 5k, so it becomes a 10k combo. Trunks, when you play it out, so this and the Vegeta have unique, so when you can only play one of these at a time, same thing, you mill this card out, it's a free blocker, and when it comes out you can take a life to help you self-awaken. Time Agent Vegeta, same thing, comes out for free, 19k, so this is sort of your pressure card, and then activate Battle for 2 energy, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, 3 or less, and send it to the warp. And then the last one is going to be the Gotenks Unison. This is the only good one you can play right now for black. Mill it out, comes out for free with 1 marker, +2, drop a card from your hand, gain 10k, or -4. This card gets 20k and dual attack. This works super well with your leader ability, making him a 25k dual attack double strike base, which is super effective. So now for the new stuff here, we run 4 of the Trunks Elite Descendant. This is sort of the main card you want to see in your turn 1 hand. And the reason is because this is Overwhelm, and this deck does not really react well with Overwhelm. We don't want to Overwhelm a lot, but when we do Overwhelm, we want it to make sure that it counts. So I'm trying to Overwhelm at least turn 1, turn 2. After that, it's really hard to Overwhelm. But what this card will do, you can play out a Vegeta with an energy cost of 3 from your deck in rest mode and then shuffle. So we have 2 targets for this card. So the first target is going to be the revived Ravager Vegeta. This is a 3-drop 15k crit. When this card hits the board, you burst the top 3. So when you play this, you obviously you're warping your drop area, and then you play this and you get the burst another 3. So you have another chance of being able to play out a bunch of free cards. And then because this card's not being played out by Overwhelm, it will stay because of your Trunks ability. And then we have the Vegeta from the new set, and I like this card a lot because when you play this card out, you swing the Trunks, and then you activate this main, and you get to warp this card and a energy cost of 3 or less from your battle area, and then you draw 1. So basically, you bring these 2 cards out. This card comes out in rest mode, obviously. You swing the Trunks, and at the end, you just activate main, warp both, and draw a card. This gets you your requirements for your fusion stuff later on. It also just allows you to get another card as well. Fusion is going to be the 6-drop Vegeks Space-Time Synthesis. Double Strike, Union Praetor for 3 on top of a Trunks and a Vegeta Xeno. You can choose cards in your warp when choosing this card. So you don't have to choose both. So let's say you have a Trunks in your warp and you have a Vegeta in play. You actually can take that Trunks that's in the warp, play it next to the Vegeta, and then place this on top of it. So you don't really need to have both in the warp. It's just nice to just get it done early, but you can use any of the Vegeta. You can use the 4-drop Vegeta that you play. You can use the 3-drop Vegeta, the 3-drop Trunks that you play out as well. So you have just 2 variations of doing it, so it makes it really effective. And then when this card is played, you add up to 1 battle card with energy cost of 4 or less from your warp to your hand. Super, super strong. So for the 6-drop, we run 4 of the 7-drops that come out for free. Because this is a Xenoevolve effect, you guys don't know, that means you warp the card that's underneath this that you would be evolving from. So the 6-drop, and then the other 2 cards go to your warp, and you play this in active mode. So you swing with the 6-drop, play this, then you Xenoevolve, play this out, and then you have a 30k double strike. And when this card swings, you warp one of your opponent's battle cards. Doesn't have an energy requirement, power requirement, nothing. Just warp one of your opponent's battle cards. As long as it doesn't have barrier, it's going to the warp. And that's once per turn. So just a good way of being able to pressure. You can get this card out really, really early. This variation of the deck will play a lot better once the championship 6-drop comes out. There's also a 5-drop and stuff, but once that 6-drop comes out, this will be devastating, I feel. But as of right now, it still runs really, really well. We have 2 of the promo Hatchiaks. A good card for board clearing. When this card attacks a battle card, you can restand it. So you can swing at a battle card, make them waste a negate or something, restand it, swing again. You can mill this card for 2, which is super helpful because if you're trying to get to that 20 or you're trying to get a few extra cards out, you can just activate main, drop this, burst 2, so you're just bursting basically 3 cards. And then if you burst one of those 2 cards, it's something you can play out for free. You know, you have some effectiveness there. Also for 3, you can choose 3 black battle cards in your drop area with 3 to 7 power, put them in the bottom of your deck, and then play this card out. So you actually can shuffle back in your 4-drops and your 3-drop Trunks and Vegetas. Also your both of your Vegeks 6 and 7 drops, you also can shuffle those back in as well if you needed to for some reason. My favorite card in the deck now is the Majin Buu Wickedness Incarnate. This card is so good. So for one, if all your energy is black, your leader's black, you can't activate this card for the turn, but you warp this from your drop, and then at the end of your turn, you drop a card and draw 2. So if I have an extra one of these in the deck, in my hand, I'll just warp this from the drop that, and then draw 2. It's also just a good way to use 1 energy, especially if you're trying to awaken. You don't have something in your hand that you want to use 1 energy for, and you don't feel like you want to waste it. So you can just pop this, awaken, and then do all your stuff, and then at the end of your turn, just drop a card and just remember to draw 2. Also, this is a great target to pull back from your 6-drop, because you can pull a 4-drop or less. Because you can pull a Shiloh. God damn. So because you can pull a 4-drop or less back, you can just grab this card back and then use it again later to draw more. Super combo is going to be the Bibbidi Super Combo. The best one to have in the game right now for black. You just get extra 1k power for every card in your drop and your warp. And then Shiloh! And to kind of combo with that, we run 2 further destruction choppas to give a card double strike. Adding a Bibi on top of it is almost guaranteed damage. No one's really going to want to combo one of these and one of these. 2 demonic absorptions to remove barrier cards. Also just a good 5k combo card as well. 4 of the robots. Koitsukai. Another card that can be dropped with the Majin Buu card that has really, really good effect. You can warp it. I'm sorry, you actually remove it from the game. Shuffle cards back into your deck from your hand if you want to, then draw that many cards. And then if your opponent plays any battle cards 20k or less on your turn, they have to warp 2. And this is nice because any of the unison counterplays that they play that are free, any battle card negates, they're going to have to warp 2 from their hand. So it just gives you a good turn where you can feel like you can play out your 6-drop Vegeks, your 7-drop Vegeks, and you're not going to get counterplayed a lot because they're going to have to drop cards as well from it. For petrification, I said the same thing in my Vegeks deck. I think this is the best black negate right now until the new one comes out in the anniversary box. I like this more than Power Burst. In this deck, we don't run a lot of 1-drops. There's no reason to really have it. This one you can just negate, and if you want to drop a card, you can choose a card ignoring barrier, remove its skills till the end of your next turn. So if you're playing against Invoker, just choose that 4-drop Vegeta, remove all of its skills, choose that 6-drop, Goku, you remove all of its skills so it doesn't have Invoker, it doesn't have anything like that. And now your opponent's kind of screwed because you place them the next turn and they try to tap 1 energy and play an Invoker card. You're like, no, that card doesn't have any skills, and really, really messes up the game for them. So we run a whole playset of those. 2 Buu Humanization attacks. don't have enough room for running 3. You can warp something from the drop area, which is super helpful in this meta. You can warp away basically the robots. You can warp away rebrands. You can warp away monkeys. Just gets rid of those stupid drop area cards that your opponent is going to be using. And then also you can burst with this as well. Burst up to 4, giving a total of 5 cards that this would burst, considering this card's going to the drop as well. Just giving you some other extra things that you can play with. One bomb is going to be the Fu. This is kind of a last resort because like I said, I'm not trying to overwhelm a lot, but it's just a good way to end the game. And then we have the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Fits better in this style of deck. For 5, you can play this card out. You restand 2, draw 2, warp 2 cards from your opponent's hand, and then warp 2 battle cards from their board. Triple Strike. The problem with this card is that once you have this on field, you can't play out any more battle cards from your effect. So it's not great in that sense, but once you have this on board, you have your Unison, you can just kind of just swing with this stuff, and you should be pretty good. But that is my new Vegeks deck with the Union Potara engine. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.